just going to give an opportunity for the panelists to give some closing remarks or anything they want to leave the room with. And yeah, we don't have time to take questions from the audience. So do you want to start with you, Robyn?
I'm just going to think for one moment though. I mean, we're focused so much in the present because we need to be. And I think, hopefully, we're also focused towards the future. And that's something that's difficult to do at times like this, when it seems like the people that are committed to taking away any possible future for us, it seems like they're winning. They're winning at least electorally, right? There's a certain kind of a structure that wants us, I think, to despair. But what has been helping me, I think, that I have seen is like having done this tour with Policing Black Lives, I've gone to so many Canadian cities, and what I have seen in terms of the young Black people that are coming out, the elderly Black people that are coming out in cities like, you know, not only Toronto, but Winnipeg, Vancouver, Kingston, Halifax, just like looking at, I'm not sure if you can ever feel that there is this energy right now, right? That there's really something that is happening, and that's something that's real. I feel that we can feel this kinetic energy in terms of this, like a Black Renaissance, in terms of what's happening, in terms of what our communities are doing and what our communities are refusing, and the kind of conversations that we're starting to have that are so brilliant. And even, I think, when presented with what in some ways is a depressing history, it is also a very grounding history, though. This idea that when we understand what has happened, we can build something different. And I just feel that we're starting to see, again, there's a close friend of mine that wrote a poem. Her name is Shanice Nicole, if I'm going to quote her, I should give her name. A poem called Deep Sleep, and the main refrain of it is, I woke up when they put Trayvon to sleep. And I think that it's exactly that, though. It's that sort of the beautiful things that even come out of these horrific violent acts. I think that we're in this resurgence of beautiful things and of brilliant organizing and of incredible art that's coming out at this moment that I think that we need to remember, particularly in weeks like this, in weeks like Goldie with 25,000 votes, right? That there is still this broader cultural and political revolution that is happening that's very, very real, and it's happening everywhere. So that's what I think with.
To say other than what I've already said. You know, I'm a big believer that the revolution is not a one-time event, and that we're in the middle of a revolutionary moment. I think the most important thing I would leave everybody with is the importance and the need for you to take care of yourself, for you to rest, for you to eat well if you can, for you to sleep as much as you can, because we need everybody to be in this fight for justice, this fight for our people, as you know, as Sara says and as Sonia Sanchez says. So we need you to take care of yourself and to take care of each other. If you know activists in your life, you know, activism is a very gendered kind of space. Women and trans people are sewing the banners until 4 o'clock in the morning every single time, going to get the photocopying, doing all of this extra labor. You know, if you know activists in your life, intervene in some way with a nice and giving act. Make them a meal, book them a massage, you know, like just, you know, as much as we can, we need to shower love upon each other and upon ourselves, because we need to be able to be as strong as we can be in this fight for freedom. And so take care of yourself.
Yeah, so my remarks are, Black people, I'm here for you, I love you, we're doing great work, keep it up, take a break, we're in it together. Everyone else who isn't Black, there are 25,000 people in this city, and 63% of the voters that you need to go have a conversation with. And I'm not talking about knocking on random doors, I'm talking about Christmas is coming, Hanukkah is also coming, Kwanzaa for the non-Black people that are celebrating that, because there are some, that's coming too. It's the people closest to you in your lives that you need to dedicate your time to doing this work with, because guaranteed, if you are particularly a white person, you know somebody in a position of power. So it's your obligation to go back and do some work with the folks that are there. Racialized people, this is a tough conversation. It's been a tough conversation since somebody yelled Black Lives Matter, and you said, but our lives matter too. We're not contesting it, not in the least. But what we are saying is, stop saying that. Stop hiding behind your white colleagues and undermining black people at your jobs, in the grocery stores. Because in America, it might be, or we might be talking about Ryerson Rebecca. But it's not just the Rebecca that's calling the police when things are happening too. Right? And these are I'm saying it tongue-in-cheek, but I'm being very, very real with everybody. This is a dangerous time that we're in. And once the black people are gone, you're next. So it helps to start the work now so that we don't get there. Because none of us want to get there, right? I don't. I don't want to both be gone or be next. I would rather just be alive. And I really want to push people to think about 63% means 63% is 700,000 votes in a 2.8 million person city, and guaranteed there's at least 4. We don't know about those I don't know where they are, but the 2.8 claimed, we have a huge problem. Nobody's voting. 50% of Toronto is racialized? This is our city. There's a lot we can do to take it back. So think about that. Think about your politics. Think about the politics of the people around you. And think about affecting some kind of change. And it's not, as Robyn tells us in her book, it's not just our political system. For those of you who work at OW, ODSB, who get to make decisions about who you hire or fire for reasons that we may or may not understand, all of these places are places where you can affect change, right? So start thinking practically about the places in your everyday life that you can do these things. And don't wait for black people to tell you, because we've been telling you, and we will continue to tell you. But don't wait for us to say it to your face, because if we say it to your face, it's bad. It's bad.
Thank you all for coming to this lovely lecture. Thank you to our esteemed panelists. Thank you, Robyn, for bringing us through an archive of history, Black Canadian history in Canada, and showing us the importance of centering Black women in our fight for liberation because of the impact it has on all of us. So, before we leave, remember that there is a representative from a different book list who is outside that is selling Robyn's book. Please support, buy the book, read the book, sit on the book, and use the book to inform your everyday lives and even think further beyond the book, right? So we're opening, we're opening up the space for you to please purchase the book. We want to thank the organizers for creating this space, for allowing this beautiful conversation to happen, and I'm going to invite KK up to here to just give us information about programming that is happening in the last couple of programming happening in Personal Justice Week. So just hold on for 1 second.
And thank you to Yusra. She did a fabulous job. Thank you to all of you for your words and for moving us tonight. And the work